How to make bread dough. 5 best tips you need to know. When it comes to baking, there's something undeniably heartwarming about crafting your own loaf of bread from scratch. The simple yet magical process of transforming basic ingredients like flour, water, yeast, and salt into a fluffy, aromatic masterpiece has captivated culinary enthusiasts for centuries. Beyond the enticing aroma and the joy of slicing into a freshly baked loaf, making your own bread also gives you control over the ingredients and the freedom to experiment with flavors and textures. Many people, however, find themselves intimidated by the seemingly complex steps involved or are unsure about the precise science behind yeast fermentation. Navigating the world of bread making can indeed be difficult, especially when faced with terms like proofing, kneading, or gluten development. Yet, with the right guidance and a little patience, anyone can master the art of dough creation. So in order to make you an informed decision, let's dive into the fundamentals of crafting the perfect bread dough. Key ingredients. For a basic white bread recipe, the main ingredients you'll need are bread flour, 4 cups, active dry yeast, 2 teaspoons, water, 1½ cup, salt, 1½ teaspoons, sugar or honey, 2 tablespoons. Let's get kneading. The process. 1. Activating the yeast. To start, warm up some water to a lukewarm temperature, ensuring it's not too hot. Then, dissolve a teaspoon of sugar in the water, stirring gently until it's fully incorporated. Next, sprinkle the active dry yeast into the water and allow it to sit undisturbed for approximately 5 to 10 minutes. As time passes, you'll begin to observe the yeast becoming frothy, creating a delightful sight that indicates the activation process is taking place. 2. Mixing and kneading. In a large bowl, combine the bread flour, salt, and yeast mixture. Gently mix the ingredients together until they form a cohesive dough. Now comes the therapeutic part, kneading. Transfer the dough onto a well-floured surface and begin working it with your hands, applying gentle pressure and folding it over itself. Feel the texture change as you continue to knead for about 10 to 20 minutes, or until the dough becomes smooth, supple, and elastic. This step not only ensures proper gluten development, but also gives you a mini arm workout, leaving you with a sense of accomplishment and anticipation for the delicious bread that will soon be baked to perfection. 3. First rise. To shape your dough into a ball, gently gather the edges and tuck them underneath until a smooth surface forms. Place the dough in a greased bowl, ensuring it is fully coated to prevent sticking. Cover it with a damp cloth, which will create an ideal environment for fermentation, allowing the yeast to work its magic. Find a warm place, like near a window or on top of a preheated oven, to let the dough rise. This crucial step is key to achieving a light and fluffy texture in your homemade white bread. Be patient as the dough doubles in size, which typically takes about an hour, but may vary depending on the temperature and humidity of your surroundings. 4. Shaping and second rise. Once the dough has risen, gently punch it down to release any air bubbles. Yes, literally. Then, shape the dough according to the size and shape of the bread pan you're using. For a classic loaf, a rectangular bread pan works best. Carefully place the shaped dough into the pan and cover it again, allowing it to rise for another 30 minutes or so in a warm and cozy spot. This second rise will give the bread an extra boost of fluffiness and flavor. If you've tried this recipe, I'd love to hear from you. It's always a delight to know how others find it. Baking the perfect loaf. 1. Preheat the oven. Before you place the dough in the oven, it's important to preheat it to about 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 degrees Celsius. This step ensures that the oven reaches the ideal temperature, allowing for an even bake for your homemade bread recipe. By preheating the oven, you create the optimal environment for the dough to rise and develop a delicious golden crust. 2. Baking time. To achieve the perfect loaf of bread, start by placing your bread pan in the center of the oven. Let it bake for about 30 minutes, ensuring a golden brown crust and a soft, fluffy interior. If you're using smaller bread pans or making delicious rolls, remember to adjust the baking time accordingly to achieve that same delightful texture. 3. Cooling down. Once the bread is baked to golden brown perfection, carefully remove it from the warm embrace of the oven. Gently place it onto the waiting wire rack, where it will be granted the opportunity to cool gracefully. As it settles into its new environment, the cooling process allows the crust to maintain its delightful crispiness, ensuring a satisfying and enjoyable culinary experience. 4. Storing. If you manage to resist the mouthwatering temptation to devour your homemade white bread all at once, you can ensure its freshness by storing it in a dedicated bread box or a breathable bread bag. These specialized storage solutions provide the ideal environment to preserve the delightful texture and flavor of your bread, allowing you to savor it over an extended period. Tips and tricks for the best bread. 1. Use a digital scale. When baking bread, measurements can make all the difference. Instead of using cups, opt for a digital scale. It offers a higher degree of accuracy, ensuring that your bread ingredients are perfectly balanced. The right amount of flour, water, yeast, and salt can change your bread from good to great. 2. Experiment with different flours. Every flour type brings its unique flavor and texture. While all-purpose flour is a common choice, branching out to bread flour, whole wheat, or even rye can elevate the taste of your bread. Experimentation can help you discover a blend that resonates with your palate and results in a richer flavor profile. 3. Monitor dough temperature. The temperature of your dough plays a crucial role in how it rises. If the dough is too cold, the yeast won't activate properly. If it's too warm, the bread might be overproof. Aim for a dough temperature between 75 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal yeast activity. Guessing your water or dough temperature can affect the final result, so it's best to be precise. 4. The right rising environment. Where you let your dough rise matters. Instead of using regular mixing bowls, use transparent containers. This way, you can visually monitor the rising process and ensure that it's doubling in size. Moreover, pick a warm, draft-free spot in your house. The right environment ensures your dough rises perfectly, leading to fluffy and light bread. 5. Bread machines. If you're not a fan of kneading dough by hand, bread machines can be a real lifesaver. These handy appliances take care of all the hard work for you. They mix the ingredients, knead the dough to perfection, and can even bake the bread to golden perfection. With a bread machine, you can enjoy delicious homemade bread without any of the hassle or effort. 6. Toaster oven friendly. If you don't have a conventional oven, don't worry. This versatile dough recipe can also be baked in a toaster oven. Just make sure to carefully monitor the bake time and temperature to achieve perfect results. With this alternative option, you can still enjoy freshly baked goodies without the need for a traditional oven. Final thoughts. Making bread dough might seem like a challenging task at first, but with the right approach, it becomes a simple and enjoyable process. An easy bread recipe is all about understanding the balance between ingredients and mastering the technique. By dedicating time and attention to the details, such as ensuring your bowl of dough is placed in the right environment for rising, the result is a soft, flavorful bread that's worth every effort. The magic of transforming basic ingredients into a delicious loaf is truly gratifying, making the journey of bread making an experience to cherish every time.